bit here and there.
Yeah, it's all over the place for them.
Yeah.
Huh?
They got equipment all over.
Yeah, it's got a lot of equipment. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's like I said though, when we travel, can't take can only take so much because you gotta we go through um, we go through TSA, especially in LA. You gotta go through all the stuff and you gotta turn it on. So it's like if you don't have the batteries in it, put good batteries in it. Have batteries to put in it, or have it so you can plug it in.
It's crazy. Does it make you turn on everything?
Most of it, yeah, they were. I went through and I had to turn on all that stuff, and well, they want to make sure it's working and not something,
Yeah.
which you never know what, We started going right after 9/11, which was what, 2001?
Yeah, around 2001, yeah.
Yeah. So that's when we started going because that's when she got hired at the airport. Was right after that, and so that was really touchy going through the airports. Then it was like, holy shit. So here it's like, well, you gotta turn this on, turn that on. Okay. Does this work? Yep. So so you got your cameras and you got a lot of these things, and everybody's like looking at you because you turn them on and then they you turn it down and like it's supposed to do that.
Oh my gosh. Like you're trying like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But you gotta be real careful. It's like, like this one right here, It's like, they look at you and I'm like, that's what it does?
Oh, I can so see that. I can see it.
It scares the shit out of everybody.
And like everyone stares at you, like even the other guy.
Yeah, and they're all looking like, what do you got? What do you got?
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
going on? Is it
And then you'll get that one person out of the crowd where it's like, wait, is this gonna blow up or something?
Yeah.
That's, but it's like, that's what it's supposed to do. I'm like, I don't take that piece with me no more. It's like, okay, so what one stays home? Okay, this one stays home, this one stays home, this one stays home, this one? No. Okay, battery must be dead in that one. Come on. There you go. This one's got a volume control. I like that. Because I could go like this. Because if all of a sudden it was doing this, they'd be like, next thing you know, they'd be pulling a gun on you or something.
Yeah.
But it's not working properly. Because it's supposed to, usually it goes up one button at a... There we go. I've got a switch here and it's not. There we go. 1, 2. And each one has a different thing and there's a code on the back of what it does. Shh. At least that one you can turn off quietly. Unlike the other ones, you can't get them to do squat. Some of them are so loud. And like he's got some of the settings on some of these, like the one like the Spirit Box, he's got different settings on how fast it can go and how loud it can get. Some of them, like the one I have, I can do the volume, but I can't do the speed. I mean, that's an older unit. I mean, it all depends on what I mean, you can only. We don't use a lot of the beepy, flashy, loud things.
Yeah.
Just because you're sitting there listening to shit.
Right, especially when you're in a room with a few people and it's dark and this place is supposed to be haunted.
Yeah.
And...
Well, I like having, like I said, the grid lights on while you have the EMF detector, like this one. So you got this one on, and then I just put a nickel under there, a penny, whatever the hell. And then you got this one on the table asking questions, and then it'll do things. and then you have the grid light, and you can see a shadow go through. So that's kind of cool. But if you get some of these things going, it's kind of like it's a lot of noise. I'm always waiting because we used to hear a lot of walking up here.
Yeah, that's why we're just chilling, because we're trying to listen for stuff.
We were sitting here one night, and we had heavy boots walking across here.
That's cool.
First we heard a little bit, we thought, maybe it's someone at the, gas station, maybe it's a gas station. Like, we jumped up and we were gonna do something, like, nah, we think it's just someone at the gas station, it was late. So we're sitting down, all of a sudden we heard heavy boots go across. Shit. So I ran out the front door, my sister ran out the side door, and then that light turns on because I got a motion light there. And my cousin, Sue, she's not here. She's got no knees. She has 2 replacements and they're bad. She's very slow. She ran up the steps. I'm like, if anybody goes up the steps, it should not have been her. But she went up the steps. So I ran out front and I grabbed something out of the entryway, and it was a spatula, those big spatulas. I was using it in a flower bed. It was downstairs, so I used it to till up my flower bed. So I ran around there, and I'm looking up there, there's nobody up there. And then my sister was on that one, she's like, well, when she opened up the door, the light came on, so no one came down the steps because the light would have came on with the security light.
Yeah.
So I said, well, who's ever up there, either it's a ghost or they're still up there. So I went up the steps, and then I went on the roof of the kitchen, which is a single story, and I can get to it from there. And I walked all around there because there's a couple places you could hide up there, behind the furnace that's on the roof, or you can jump on the other roof. So I went all around there. There's nobody here. I come back down. We sat down here, and there it was again. Like, not running outside again. Then we finally put security cameras, so we've got a camera up there that shines on or you can see if anybody's walking around up there. Or you hear someone walking around on the wood floors. Oh, we heard it yesterday. That was kind of cool. There was someone walking around yesterday afternoon, 3:30? It was before 4 o'clock.
Yeah, that geocache that's right out there, that's how we found you guys. It was really cool. I was like, I love the story. I was like, I need to find out more.
You gotta hear this, it's funny. When we first bought the place, we're trying to figure out, okay, got the place, now what the hell do we do? Because we've never run a restaurant, but we like ghost hunting, so okay. So we're walking around, we're like, okay, what are we gonna do? Where are we gonna start? We had no clue. We walked around, and then we said, well, the smallest room is right off the front door, it's a parlor. It's the prettiest, trim and everything. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in that room, take everything out, wash all the walls and ceilings and do the windows, and then start painting and clean the floor. And then we're gonna, then we'll move on to the other rooms. But we'll get that one done, so that way if anybody comes in, because they wanna see what's going on, we'll at least say, hey, here's the first room, you can see this, the rest of it we're still cleaning. So, first thing we did was we took all these chairs. There was nothing in that room there. It was just a couple tables and chairs in there. So what we did was we piled all the tables, like on top of each other, and we stacked them all on one side. Then we took all these chairs and we started just putting them all in that far room, and then this one. And then in here, we just started stacking them. And we cleared out everything except for a couple tables in here so we could come in here and relax. So we had all the tables moved and all the chairs moved, and then everything off the walls, and they had all kinds of stuff all over the place on the walls. It was unreal.
Like so, what?
Knickknacks and things. There's so many hooks, you wouldn't believe it. I mean, someone gave us that. He said that's Elvis's girlfriend, and then that's actually that's a numbered print that was given to us. That's worth a lot of money. And then there's a etching of Notre Dame, the church in France, It's an old etching. I don't know how much it's worth, but it was given to us by somebody because they know that we're from my mom's from France. But like there, they'd have a few things. They had, I mean, it's unreal. It was just nuts. The amount of stuff. It's busy enough with the wallpaper. It didn't need that much crap. So anyway, so we moved all the chairs, and we moved, I mean, all these things too. I mean, they were all stacked because they all had to be cleaned, and we shampooed all the chairs. These look like they were like a light gray with a tinge of pink, and when we cleaned them, we're like, holy shit, they're actually pink. And those chairs look like they were gray. So anyway, we had them all lined up to shampoo them and stuff. First we got that room clean, and then we started shampooing the chairs in there. We had a big plastic thing set up, and we, like I said, we had a little, I don't even know how to call it, but, we had it set up where someone would wipe them down, and the other person would shampoo them, and then the other person would spot clean them and stuff. It was kind of funny. We had this little assembly line going, and had plastic on the floor in one area. We get a phone call one afternoon, and we had been here 3 weeks, and the psychic calls and she says, I got a message for you guys. I don't understand what it means, but maybe you know what it means. I said, okay, what's the
you
message?
didn't know who they were? They just called?
This is a friend of mine that's a psychic.
Okay.
And we met her before we bought the place. Anyway, she says, they want you to put the chairs back. Does it make sense? I said, yeah, makes sense. She goes, what chairs? I said, I'll send you a couple pictures. She goes, okay. So I go and I took a bunch of pictures because they were all stacked in here. I mean, there was like 30 chairs in there and like 30 chairs in there. All the chairs from upstairs, downstairs were all shoved in these 2 rooms. So anyway, I send her those pictures and she's like, holy crap. I says, can you give them a message? She goes, well, you can too. I says, well, just tell them when they're clean, we will put them back. But not till then, because everything needed to be cleaned. But she's like, can you put the chairs back? I'm like, yeah, but not yet. That was funny. And that's why when we got that one EVP of that lady singing that scale of opera, all that noise first was me moving chairs around because we were walking through that area, and you couldn't walk through there easily. And I didn't know Chris was recording. So she called and did that. What's the other one that happened? We had another one. Oh God. What the hell did she do?
So this was like how it was set up when it was running? The food was running?
Yeah.
Was it like this?
This was a supper club. So they had actually 3 tables. These 3 tables were here. These we got from, these 2 tables we got from, what is that? Before they tore down the Holiday Inn, Holidome on the north side of Point. We got these 2 tables from, and then those 2 little ones in the large conference room that are against the wall by the mirrors. But they had a piano here. They had, actually not a piano, they had an organ. But it was an icky one. It was like something from like the 70s. Wasn't nothing special. And they used to have someone come and play the organ during dinner. I don't know why. As if we're like, doesn't sound like anything I'd want to listen to. Wasn't the prettiest looking thing either. But I'd rather have that thing going.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
I put, what is that? Ghost Riders. That's the one I put in there.
I wish I could have been here when they was doing that stuff.
Hmm?
I wish I could have been here when it was having that open and stuff.
I had it open for 2013 to 2018.
Yeah.
That was it. 5 years.
Yeah, I was in school during that time, so I
And
was
she-
busy.
Took a medical retirement. I'm like, Then I was taking care of mom and here. I'm like, I can't do it. I was there. I had to be there 2-3 hours in the morning, and
If you ever think about bringing it up, you can give me a call because I'll help you for free. If you
Shoot.
ever open it up, I'll help you for free.
I've actually got like 3-4 people that want to do that, and I'm like, the only thing I'm planning on doing is if I can get the historical society to buy it and they move it and they keep the kitchen running, then I told them that I would run the kitchen for their events and do baking and stuff,
Awesome.
and possibly do some meals and stuff, things, certain things, because we do we have people that were just, I still get messages, can you just open and make soup? Because we used to make a bunch of different kinds of soups and stuff,
That's great.
and it was, we made homemade soups. We were, I got a friend of mine, she's like, she wanted the cream of mushroom soup. We made it from scratch, and we'd have to make it every time her sister came to town.
Yeah.
And then that one time my friend says, I want to make beef stroganoff. I says, well, make it. She goes, I need a half gallon of your soup. Okay, I'll make some tomorrow.
Oh.
But I miss it. Like we used to make roasted corn chowder. We make, we made a tomato basil bisque. That was really good.
That sounds really good. Is that the menu that's on this wall over here? Is that what was?
That's our menu. And we had a latte machine. I don't like lattes, but the ones that we made, there's a couple that we really. Ooh, we made a. Damn, was it? The hell was that one we made? I can't remember. Oh, we made with chocolate milk. That was really cool. You take, instead of white milk, you steam chocolate milk.
Wow.
And then you take the shot of espresso, put that in there, and then we'd usually do like another shot of, I don't even know what the hell it was, but the chocolate milk espresso, or lattes, oh my god. Oh, caramel. We'd do a shot of caramel,
There you go.
and that was good. My dad, and I go take mom breakfast and make sure she took her pills in the morning. I leave here at 9 o'clock and go do that. And Dad would call and say, "Are you coming?" "Yeah." Can I get one of those chocolate lattes?" "Yeah." So I'd make them guys. I'd actually make their breakfast here, and then I'd bring them either hot or cold lattes.
Cool.
Trying to think what the other. God darn it, we had some. We had so much, like I said, we had so much stuff going on here that while we were, my aunt, we were in the kitchen doing some stuff and my aunt wasn't feeling good. She had some sort of blood cancer, and she went for treatments in Rapids, and she come here. She was sitting on one of these chairs, and we had another one of them. She had her feet up. She was short, so she could do that. And she had her back to this area. Anything?
Not from Grandma Nittens tonight. I was trying.
You never know.
Like, she heard a girl talking on this thing again. But,
No responses, no firm one.
what?
Nothing firm.
No. I was trying to have him come pinch me or do something and nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, come on. Well, that's what, Volker was Grandma Nittens to me. I was like, you were upstairs grabbing Grandma Nittens.
Well, she was. They were like, man, she's crabby. She's over here telling us to shut up. And I'm like, who?
So, upstairs. Maybe Maybe.
Hmm?
Maybe. Go for it.
Did you got the grid light set up there?
They did that too. I
Wow.
had to redo it. I had to put some batteries in it. I think I threw it over there.
Really?
Like, everything's died so quick.
Like I said, mine died, and I was just like, I was so pissed. I'm like, damn. I was gonna order another one, but I was mad because I got two of them, and I'm like, I got two dead ones. And so you know what we used? We had a Christmas one. You know, like the one that goes on the house. So we got this one, and it does. You put it in there, and it does 3/4 of the room all by itself. You know, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
But Chris took it home, and she can't figure out where it is. Otherwise, I was gonna have it set up in one of the rooms.
They got a nice one that you go to Ray's Closeout on the Hoff nearby Adams, Hancock. Ray's Closeout's got one now. I was actually thinking about buying it. It's supposed to do the whole. It's a plug-in one.
Yeah,
Probably the same one. $15.
yeah.
And probably don't have to go through 100 batteries.
No, we set that up, and it would do 3/4 of the room.
Nice.
And, you know, you could set, then it's like, okay, how do you want it? Do you want this? We
Yep.
figure out what we want sent, and we just leave it. So it's kinda nice to have something like that, but we could do that because it was here, but if we go somewhere, we're kinda, you know, we're traveling around, we really, it's like, okay, I gotta bring our extension
I know
cord.
we have a lot of EVPs going through today.
Yeah.
Recording down there. I'll see if Grandma Nittens yells at me.
She might.
That's it. Why are you calling me that?
Miracle you didn't get stabbed.
Right?
You
Yeah,
know?
right? I know. That's what I said. As far as I'll go was calling Grandma Nittens. Otherwise, we're saying
Oh.
they want the bet on us.
Here's what I was gonna tell you guys. This is great. We had some people that right after the last thing we did to the parlor. So you get the room. We had the room all cleaned. Everything was moved out of there. So while we were shampooing chairs, I was cleaning. First we cleaned that whole room. Then I painted all the trim on it and everything. Okay, and then the windows and all that. It's already got 10 coats of paint on it. Might as well put another, you know.
Yep.
So we did that, and then it's like, okay.
Grandma Nittens.
So then we took everything out of that room, and then I went and got a floor scrubber. We cleaned that room really good, the floor. Then we washed it. We were sweeping and whatnot. And my sister, we had to meet our friends for 4th of July fireworks. That was on a Sunday. Well, then we had to be back here at 11 o'clock to meet some other friends of ours that wanted to come through here. We're like, okay. So we got done sweeping up the floor and everything, and we're like, well, I said to Chris, I says, we really, when it dried, I'm like, this floor is bad. She goes, what do you mean? I said, it's all scratched. It was worse looking.
Really? It was scratched?
It was worse looking than the bar, okay? So I said, Chris, I said, this floor looks like shit. I said, we're gonna have to get something and polish it or I don't know what to cover up all the scratches, cause it looked really beat. And I said, well, so I got done sweeping everything, whatever, and I said it, I said, well, we had to get going. I says, it was already getting late, and we had to meet everybody for supper and fireworks. So I said, well, let's go, we'll be back here at 11. So we get back here at 11 o'clock, just before our friends get here. We go through the front door, I go over to the light switch, and I hit the light switch on for the downstairs here, and I looked at the room, and I was gonna go in there and turn the lights on, and I said, Chris, I said, look, and she looks at it, and it was wet. I said, we got a water pipe break, because we had water pipes break here because they let them freeze.
Oh, Jesus.
And so I'm like, is there a broken water pipe somewhere? We got more water leak? Or what? And she looks and she's like, she goes, the closest water to here is the men's bathroom or the bar, and we're not standing in water, so it couldn't have gone, you know, from here to the parlor. So here we are, the whole floor, it looks like it's all wet. The lights are shining in from, you know, we had those
Yep.
shades at the time. So here we are on our hands and knees, and I said to Chris, I says, it's dry. She goes, what? I said, it's dry. So she's behind me, and we're all walking around, and we're on our hands and knees, and we're like, we're looking at each other like, what the hell? What's going on? So I get up, and I'm like, I go over by the light switch, I turn the light on, and we're standing at each other, looking at each other like, what happened to the floor? Who polished our frickin' floor while we were gone? There was no scratches, there was no nothing. It was polished. We just looked at it like, it looked like someone had just, you know, watered, like someone had just freshly mopped the whole thing is what it looked like, and it was wet.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And we're standing there staring at it, then all of a sudden there was a knock on the door and our friends were here. And she's like, don't say anything. I'm like, okay. So then we go and let them in, you know, and we're like walking around like, oh, this is really nice. And we're just like, holy shit, did you see this? We could not believe it. We found out from the one psychic that walked through, we said, we got a problem. We can't figure out what happened to the floor. She goes, what floor? I said, the floor in the parlor. Can you find out for us? She had no clue what we were talking about. And she says, I don't know her name. I said, whose name? There's one of your spirits. It's a younger girl in her upper teens, early 20s. She said, you asked them, because we said on our way out, we said, you guys finished cleaning this, we'll be back at 11. That's what we said. See you guys later, we'll be back at 11. You can finish cleaning, here's the broom. That's all she said to us. And she goes, so she cleaned the floor. She goes, what does that mean? I says, we came here at 11 o'clock and the floor was polished and shined. Like someone just waxed it. We were just like, in awe. We thought it was just like all wet mopped, and we were like, we thought it was a water leak somewhere.
Because it was so pretty. It was
Yeah.
perfect. That's insane. Oh my
Oh yeah.
I
That
don't
was
know what I
freaky.
would have